Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we're going to be talking about my healer main for season 4. Now I know it's been a reset and I still haven't uploaded a video. I haven't decided on which healer I'm going to main because there's just so many cool choices right now. I've been having so much fun with so many different healers, and if you've been watching my stream whether on YouTube or Twitch, you know that I've been testing for the last week or so. I've been testing healers to see which healer I want to main. It's also important to acknowledge that season 4 is a little bit of a meme season. It's not like there's new content, there's new raiding or anything like that. I am choosing my main, or my process is a little bit different. I'm choosing it more based on what healer I'm having fun with. If there was a new raid being released, if there was meta, if we were pushing towards, again, high ranks in terms of guild progression, I would have to consider what other healers are playing, what other members are doing in terms of trying to get the raid buffs for raid. But season 4 is not that. I'm choosing a main that is going to, again, I feel is fun to play in all forms of content. Again, of course, I am hoping to push high-end Mythic Plus content, and my main choice is going to reflect on that. But if you've been watching my videos, if you've been watching my streams, you know that I've kind of narrowed down in terms of 2 or 3 healers that I really want to play, and that is going to be Restoration Druid or Resto Shaman. I've been playing this week. I've been doing Resto Druid Mythic Plus, I've been doing Resto Shaman Mythic Plus, I've been doing Mythic Raiding with Resto Druid, Mythic Raiding with Resto Shaman. I've been trying to decide which healer is more fun, more engaging, more interesting to play, and my main choice for Season 4 is going to be both of those healers. I know it's a bit of a different story this season because I just could not decide on which healer to main. So I'm going to be splitting my time between Restoration Druid and Resto Shaman. I really tried to pick one, but honestly, all of those healers have negatives and positives. For example, why did I choose to play Restoration Druid? Why did I not play other healers? Now, Resto Druid, when it comes to Mythic Plus content, in my opinion, is a healer that I can really resonate with. I like shapeshifting. I enjoy the tier set. I enjoy Grove Guardians. In Mythic Plus, Grove Guardians feel a lot more impactful and more fun to play around because they allow me to go into cat form, allow me to DPS, and I really enjoy that. I know a lot of healers are complaining about the fact that they have to min-max or juggle multiple different things in terms of Mythic Plus content, in terms of dealing damage, healing, utility, dealing with affixes. And I agree with that kind of sentiment, but I also feel that Resto Druid can do all those things in a really fun way. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Grove Guardians, a lot of people don't like where Resto Druid is heading and things like that, but I really enjoy Resto Druid. Nothing is changing in Season 4 from Season 3. You're still getting the same tier set, the powerhouse tier set. It is insanely powerful in Mythic Plus content. Your Grove Guardians end up doing a bunch of healing. You're playing that double Life Bloom build where you're getting clear castings and your regrowths pack a punch because they work with the tier set. So there's, how do I say, there's a lot of things that you can do as Resto Druid to min-max the class to an extreme. A lot of people think Resto Druid is easy to play, but if you actually try to get into or min-maxing your Resto Druid, especially in Mythic Plus content, there is a lot of things you need to do, especially if you want to provide DPS, especially if you want to meet some of the healing checks or unexpected damage, because it is not a reactive healer. You need to prepare for the damage before it happens. Don't get me wrong, if you have clear casting procs already, your regrowths are going to feel pretty impactful. But you still need to be aware, is the damage going to happen in the next 10 seconds? If there is, I need to start preparing, getting my HOTS out, maintaining those HOTS, because Resto Druid is all about that hot gameplay. So I can really resonate with Resto Druid when it comes to Mythic Plus content, because you can really min-max the gameplay, you can really get good numbers out of it if you put your mind to it, if you practice it, if you, again, just play the game with Druid, and if you enjoy that hot gameplay, it's going to be really fun. But when you compare Resto Druid in raids, honestly, I really don't enjoy Resto Druid in raiding content. I almost consider it to be somewhat of a snooze fest. I've been doing mythic raids with the guild for the first time because my mythic raiding team doesn't force me to play a certain healer in order to get the raid buff. So I said, hey, I'm gonna play Resto Druid in raids. I don't care if it's good or bad or whatever. I just want to get gear so I can progress in Mythic Plus. Resto Druid in raiding has felt really boring, and that is my personal opinion. You're more than welcome to disagree or agree with this. I don't think Resto Druid feels all that engaging when it comes to raiding. I prefer the tier set in Mythic Plus versus the raid. I prefer the gameplay in Mythic Plus versus raiding. In raiding, again, the flourish nerfs are really impactful. You can really feel that flourish doesn't pack a punch like you used to do. I just don't have a lot of fun spamming or playing Druid in raids, but I do it because I want the gear from Mythic Plus, because guess what? If you're going to be doing or trying to get that rank 1 title for Mythic Plus in this season, Resto Druid is going to be, or it's looking like to be a very, very, very solid choice. If nothing changes, I think Resto Druid is most likely going to be S tier when it comes to fitting that, or fitting into that Mythic Plus composition really well. Mark of the Wild is insanely powerful raid buff, group buff that you need both in raids and Mythic Plus, but in raids it's far easier to get Mark of the Wild because you probably have more druids. In Mythic Plus it's harder to get it, especially with the current comp. I think Resto Druid is probably the best druid spec right now when it comes to Mythic Plus in terms of pushing high-end content. So if you're someone who's looking to pug rank 1 titles, or if you're trying to kind of make a group for high-end Mythic Plus pushing, I think Resto Druid is going to be a very, very obvious choice right now. I'm not saying other healers are not going to be capable of doing it. I just feel Resto Druid is fitting in really nicely in that Season 4 Mythic Plus comp. And on top of that, it's a really fun healer when it comes to Mythic Plus content. If you enjoy that hot and shape-shifting type of gameplay, applying bleeds, applying dots, applying hots, honestly, it can all gel together really, really well. But why am I also playing Restoration Shaman now? Like I said at the start of the video, I'm basically choosing two mains. I'm playing Resto Druid and Resto Shaman, and I'm splitting my time between them, which kind of means that the gearing process is taking a little bit longer, but I don't regret my choice because I really enjoy both of these healers. Now, Resto Shaman is complete opposite to Restoration Druid. Resto Shaman has a lot of these longer casts, and once you get those casts off, it packs a punch. Things like High Tide Chain Heal. It's going to bring up the party quite a bit in terms of, again, if it crits as well at the Chain Heal crits, if you're running the 2-set bonus. I managed to pick up the 2-set bonus from Season 1, which is going to be the main tier set in Season 4, and I've been trying to maintain the tier set, or trying to maintain the buff in terms of 15% crit. I've been playing around it, and I've been having a lot of fun. Now, Resto Shaman going into Season 4 was actually my #1 choice for main, because if you watch my videos, if you watch my streams throughout different expansions, you know that I jump from characters to characters in terms of healers because I need that variety. I get bored of healers relatively easily. I've been playing every single healer for a long time, and I need alts. I need different experiences every single patch in terms of bringing me something new, and it keeps me engaged in this game. For example, in Dragonflight alone, I made multiple different healers in Season 1. I played Preservation Evoker in Season 2. I played Preservation Evoker in Season 3. I swapped to Holy Paladin specifically for Mythic Raid progression. Also in Season 3, I ended up swapping to Mystical Monk for Raid because we're missing that Monk Mystic Touch debuff as well. So I played multiple different healers when it comes to Mythic Raiding. And more often than not, my main choices take into consideration what the guild needs, or maybe what the guild asks me to play. But Season 4, of course, is very different in this regard, and honestly, I'm going to be playing the healer or healers that I enjoy the most. So Restoration Shaman probably will eventually, or might become, my main character, or the only character that I play. Like, for example, I'm playing Resto Druid right now because I really enjoy Mythic Plus content. I don't really like Resto Druid in raids because it feels very, very boring to me. Personal opinion. Resto Shaman, for me, overall, when it comes to Mythic Plus, when it comes to raiding, probably feels a little better in that overall experience because I really like playing around Cloudburst Totem, around the different cooldowns, filling up my Cloudburst, getting that off in terms of big burst, and it just feels really interesting and new because I haven't played Resto Shaman for a little while. I've been doing a lot of Pug content, I've been doing a lot of Mythic raids, Pug Mythic raids as well, which were quite fun as well. I enjoy Resto Shaman, the utility that it provides in terms of pugging. I think it is arguably the best Pug healer when it comes to actually creating a successful run, or it's in your hands. You have a really great interrupt, you have a stun, you have knock up, knock back, depending on how you're going to talent it, you have purge, you have bloodlust. I just think there's a lot of things. Poison Cleansing Totem and Afflicted is going to come around. I think Resto Shaman has a lot when it comes to pugging, and I think you can actually really steer the group in the right way in terms of interrupting the right mobs and things like that. It's been such a fun experience with Resto Shaman. I know it is a very different healer from Resto Druid. Like I said, there's a lot of longer casts and they pack a punch when you finish it. I enjoy Cloudburst Totem. I've been playing with Healing Stream Totem a little bit when I'm doing keys where there's not a lot of healing needed. And I'm enjoying a lot of it. I know not a lot of people are going to gravitate, or a lot of people might find Resto Shaman, hey, there's so many utility buttons you need to keybind. I don't have the keybinds for it. Or I don't like healers that have such a long cast time. I can still resonate with Resto Shaman. I think it is relatively, I don't think it's the most complex healer out there unless you pick up Cloudburst Totem and you really want to min-max Cloudburst in a really meaningful way. If you just play Healing Stream Totem, I think it's a lot easier in terms of trying to min-max your healing. So there's multiple different ways of playing Resto Shaman. I've enjoyed a lot of it. I've enjoyed the raiding aspects. I've enjoyed the Mythic Plus aspects. It is very different from Resto Druid, so I'm playing both of these healers right now. and I'm having a very different experience with both of them. On the flip side, I haven't been bringing my Restoration Shaman to the main guild raids, but that might actually change in the future because I'm enjoying my Resto Shaman in raids more than I enjoy Resto Druid in raids. But when it comes to Mythic Plus, I think it's kind of evened out in terms of my enjoyment for Resto Druid and Resto Shaman. Again, they're very different healers. You are more than welcome to agree or disagree with my assessment. These are just my personal opinions. I, again, gravitate to Resto Shaman. It doesn't matter if it's going to be good or bad. I'm still enjoying the gameplay, and I haven't played Shaman for a while, so I'm kind of leaning towards Resto Shaman right now. But I also have Resto Druid because maybe there is going to be a reason for me to push really high Mythic Plus keys this season, trying to get that rank 1 title, and Resto Druid might fit into my push group a little bit better than Resto Shaman. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing Resto Shaman. I'm going to be doing content for both. I'm going to be doing videos, guides for Resto Druid, for Resto Shaman. I'm going to be, again, trying to do as much as I can for these two healers. And finally, without rambling on too much, I do have to mention another healer that I kind of been playing a little bit, and that is going to be Preservation Evoker. This is a healer that I really wanted to try out, the modified Season 1 tier set. Again, I did try it out in PTR. I enjoyed the different gameplay. Preservation Evoker right now in raids is kind of pumping in terms of HPS. You're getting the legendary this week as well in terms of if you have the 2 bullions. And I think it is something that I always kind of liked as well. Preservation Evoker I mained in Season 1 and Season 2, and I wanted to try it out in Season 4 because of the different tier sets, because I wanted to see how the gameplay is going to change. I enjoyed the instant cast Living Flames that you can get from a tier set, but I haven't been able to get the new tier set yet on my Preservation Evoker, which is a little bit disappointing because I didn't get to try out the different gameplay options that you have in raids. In Mythic Plus, I haven't been able to try out the instant Living Flames, which I really kind of gravitate towards that kind of gameplay. So in terms of the main healers that I have right now in Season 4, Resto Shaman, Resto Druid, these are the 2 healers that I'm maining right now. I just could not make a choice in terms of which one I want to focus. And considering Season 4 is a bit of a meme season, trying to maintain multiple characters is not that big of a deal. I can bring both of these characters in Mythic raiding and try and gear them up because guess what? There's no new raids to progress. If there were new raids to progress, the guild would probably be far more serious about trying to get all the raid buffs and things like that. But again, Season 4, it's not all that serious. And Preservation Evoker is kind of like right there, kind of hanging out. I'm definitely going to be playing Preservation Evoker more in terms of trying to gear up, trying to get that Season 1 tier set, trying the different gameplay options. I still feel Preservation Evoker, even though it feels very strong in terms of output, I still think that, or at least based on logs, because I don't have the new tier set yet, even though the logs are showing the Preservation Evoker can really pump, the number of players that jumped onto the Preservation Evoker bandwagon is not really all that high, which was kind of my prediction early on in terms of coming into Season 4, because I'm not sure how many people are gonna main Preservation Evoker because you still have those range limitations, but playing around those can be satisfying, but also at the same time, if you're pugging Mythic Plus content with the range limitations, it can still feel a little bit painful. But again, Restoration Druid, Restoration Shaman, my top 2 healers right now in terms of maining Preservation Evoker right there. These are my healers that I'm focusing right now. I don't want to waffle too much in this video. Let me know which healers you're maining in Season 4 and let me know your reasoning. Why are you playing your healer in Season 4? Is it because of Mythic Plus pushing? Is it because of raiding? Is it because of the gameplay? Is it because you resonate with the class fantasy? What is the reason for your main? Again, I waffled on a little bit too long here, but these are my reasonings for Season 4 main. Of course, I'm going to be thinking about the main in the War Within, but that's going to take quite a bit in terms of the release time. I'm going to be playing Alpha. And again, I'm going to be releasing videos for Resto Shaman and Resto Druid, and I hope that's going to be... I hope you're going to enjoy that, guys. Let me know how you feel about this video, and let me know about your main in Season 4. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.